Are you ready to find out the best ways that you can start using AI as a virtual assistant this 2025? In this video, I'm going to give you guys the best pieces of advice that I've given our assistants at 2XU so then you can start applying them yourself as a virtual assistant as we go into the new year. Now, the main thing that I want you guys to focus on going into 2025 are two things. So main things. One is prompt engineering. And the second one is learning how to do automation. So these are two skills. So these are not basically ways that you can use AI, but these are skills that you want to hone in the next year, because these are the two skills that as you start getting better and better at, the more and more that you can support your client or your clients, and the more that you can also become an AI expert within your field. So whether you are an admin virtual assistant, social media, operations, whatever kind of virtual assistant that you are, those are the two main things that I want you guys to start looking up right now, start researching. Well, probably not right now, probably at the end of this video, but the point is that you can start upskilling yourself in that way. Now, what are the ways that you can both kind of put into practice prompt engineering and creating automations? The first one is building systems. Now, this is something that a lot of people kind of assume that AI could replace them on a lot of things, but to be honest, you have to first know what AI can do for you by knowing what you do. So what I mean by building your systems is you can have AI go ahead and you can give it a list of like, hey, these are my daily tasks, these are my weekly tasks, my monthly tasks, or these are the recurring tasks that I have to do with my client, like onboarding, it doesn't have to be daily, weekly, or things like for creating reports or running things. So you're going to give AI just a list of what you do. And what you're going to do is, if you don't already have a standard procedure for each one of them, is you want to start building it, because then you can start feeding that into the AI and start building out, okay, what can I automate with AI and what I can't, that still has to be a person actually running them. A really good example of building out these systems is one of the key things that we did earlier last year is automate our onboarding process within 2XU. So within kind of the process of having a new client and then pairing them up with an assistant, there's a series of emails, there's a series of custom reports and the invoicing, all of that good stuff basically that has to go out for a client to be fully onboarded. And within our own processes, we used a tool called Make.com, and that's the main tool that I recommend that you guys learn. There's a ton of others, but Make.com kind of makes it where once you learn that, it's easier to learn everything else. And with Make.com, we've kind of created this automation or this flow with our onboarding that the moment a person says, yes, I want to become a client, I want you guys to start looking for an assistant for me, is there's a series of emails that they'll get. It's connected to the other tools that we have, so that it starts generating the reports there. It's then added into like our Notion CRM. So with the automation, it doesn't have to be that my assistant is swamped every time that we have like 5 clients in a week. It's that AI has kind of helped her make that a little bit easier process versus, again, her just sending all of those emails, all of those reports, all of those kind of things that we prepare for as we onboard a new client. So that is why it's important first to look at the current things that you're doing and start replacing or automating your way through there, rather than having AI like, oh, we don't have this part on the social media or the marketing or the sales that we want to add into. I wonder if we can do that with AI. Yes, you can. But currently, you should always start looking at what you are doing, build the system so then you can feed that into AI. Because if you just go into AI saying like, hey, this is what I do, AI will kind of just take that and kind of make things up, versus like if you have a specific direction that you want AI to do or to replace you on, it becomes a little bit easier, because then the next step is to go ahead and start building out those systems and learning how to basically use automations. Now, if you're not using Make.com just yet, it's similar to Zapier, or there's another tool called If This and That. Zapier is a little bit more famous. Make.com is, like I said, it has a high learning curve, but once you know that, once you learn how to use Make.com, you can start learning all of the other tools out there when it comes to the automation side. So it just kind of makes it a little bit breezier and faster once you learn that. However, what I mean by building it out is as you start conceptualizing like, oh, we use X, Y, and Z tool every single month, and I have to manually sign in, get this report when actually Make.com can probably help generate those reports, then it's just a click of a button for you, and it goes through the different tools, the different processes that you wanted to get done, and you mostly have a good draft of the output. Instead of having to probably spend 5 hours going through reports, you can have AI kind of make that a little bit easier by grabbing the reports, filtering through the information you actually need, and then again, making your first draft of it, because AI still needs your expertise in your eyes to know if it is something that is a good output or not so good output. Next is then you can use AI in a lot of the brainstorming, especially if your client has a goal and you're not quite sure yet how to kind of cross the bridge. So this could be things like creating your content calendar for the rest of the year. This could be things like, hey, I want, this XYZ kind of project that I want to get done. How can we do that? And that's another way that you can use AI this year, is breaking down those projects, especially the big ones that you might not have the full idea how to execute them. You can ask and work with AI on going back and forth. And for me, I still honestly stick to ChatGPT for this. I know there's a ton of other really, really good tools, but that's kind of what I mean by mastering prompt engineering and automations, is once you've learned those two skills, you can literally use any tool. Because it is a tool, it's only going to be a multiplier of you. So for me, because I have learned and I could say mastered prompt engineering for myself, for how I use it within my business, then it's easy for me to just kind of stick to the basics of ChatGPT, and I've tweaked it a lot, I've played around with it a lot, so then to the point that it can give me the output that I need. And anytime that I 2XU right now is at this, I want to start offering this service, or I want to start adding this part, then what ChatGPT does is helps me bridge basically the in-between, the blurry part of it, and then helping me break down that project so we can actually execute it within the business. So soon we will be having our quarterly meeting this week as this video comes out, and it's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to, is kind of, if you have really big ideas and really big things that we want to happen within the business, within the company, is that we can start executing on them a little bit easier and a little bit simpler with the use of AI, in this case, ChatGPT. And of course, I recommend you using AI to upskill yourself. If there's a skill that you've always wanted to learn or teach yourself, you can ask AI to break it down for you and even quiz you on a couple of them and give you feedback on how you're doing. Now, it's not going to be as good as an actual expert, especially if you are looking for feedback on like graphic or things like that. But if you are wanting to learn how to be better at copywriting, if you want to learn how to be a better project manager, you can have AI be your sparring partner when it comes to kind of testing your own knowledge, testing your own skill, give you a few exercises to do so you can keep getting better at what it is that you want to be better at. And finally, honestly, use AI to test and dump. And this is something that I have not seen a lot of people talk about yet, but you want to use different tools, test it, and then dump anything that doesn't make sense to you and what it is that you're doing, what your own goals are, because you don't want to be the person with 10 different AI tools that you're using at the same time, when honestly you can probably kind of consolidate and use 2 or 3 instead of all of those 10. So that is why it's important, again, for you to learn and master prompt engineering and automations, because then with the combo of the two, you can again be that powerhouse, and you've just used ChatGPT or some other AI tool as your medium for you to keep creating really, really good work as you get better and better at, again, prompt engineering or automations, and get better at the skill that you are the person for. So I'm super excited for AI to keep evolving how we do work as virtual assistants and how we do work and how we show up for our clients. And if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there. Comment below what are the ways that you're using AI this 2025. I would love to know. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home, which you guys can check out those 2 playlists right here and the latest video right here. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.